How much longer are we going to have to suffer? How much longer is this going to go? Being a Chicago Bears fan really might be one of the most painful things ever. I wish I just knew that answer of how much longer this is going to go. What's going on, guys? FST here, man. I see you guys obviously in the chat. Appreciate you guys joining here as I talk about the debacle that is this team, the 2023 Chicago Bears. Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. Let me just say this. I talked about this, posted my recap video. You guys can go check that out. But losing to the Chiefs today was never the problem or the issue. In fact, I, along with every sane Chicago Bears fan, expected it. We expected to lose to the defending Super Bowl champs. So why are the Chicago Bears fans so annoyed? Because there was no fight in the team. Folks, losing is acceptable. Not giving any effort isn't. Getting embarrassed, getting manhandled, getting outcoached, getting outclassed, getting just absolutely destroyed, blown out, blowing the doors off, that's not acceptable. And you know why I know that's not acceptable? Because I just saw the Arizona Cardinals, a team that is actively tanking with Josh Dobbs at quarterback, who no other team would have him as their starting quarterback. I just saw that team beat the Dallas Cowboys. Not even keep it competitive, straight up beat the Dallas Cowboys. We're not even asking the Bears to beat the Chiefs. We were just asking them to be competitive. The Jaguars, they lost to the Texans. You know who the Texans are starting? A rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud. And they beat the Jaguars. But yet the Bears can't even be competitive. Losing is fine. Not being competitive isn't. And based off of today's performance, jobs need to be gone. I'm sorry, I don't believe I'm overreacting here. When you get a performance like that, or lack thereof, because there was no performance on the part of the Chicago Bears, when you get a game like that, people need to get fired. People need to get fired. Matt Eberflus needs to go. I'm telling you guys right here, right now, Ryan Poles needs to go ahead and fire Matt Eberflus. He has lost the team. He has lost the locker room. He brings nothing to the table. His defense got absolutely manhandled in 2.5 quarters. The Chiefs put up 40 points. He needs to do it. Will he do it? I don't know. As somebody just pointed out, the Bears have never fired midseason. So will he do it? I don't know, but he needs to. He needs to, because this is unacceptable. Don't pay a penny to this team. Do not pay a penny and spend another one of your hard-earned dollars to go to a Bears game this season, because they don't deserve it. They should be paying us. They should literally be paying us to watch this garbage team. And maybe even if they pay us, we won't even go, because why would you want to watch that? Why would you want to watch that? Oh my goodness. The Bears are the biggest joke in football. Flus needs to go. Getsy needs to go. Coaches needs to go. If not now, then when? Next week, you play the Broncos. They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins today. And yet they're still favored against us next week. Open up as a 2.5-point favorite against the Bears on the sports book. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. We are underdogs against the Broncos, who just gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. Ryan Poles, if you are listening, your job is going to be on the line if you do not make any moves right now. Stop trying to preach patience. Stop trying to say, oh, we're not panicking in the building. You should be. Your team's a joke. Your team's a laughing stock. You will never get another GM job in the NFL if you are not able to make some changes. God. We don't even expect this team to win. We just want them to be competitive, and even that is too much to ask. Let me calm down. Clearly, the Chicago Bears and watching them are not good for my health. What's going on, guys? Man. Let's take some questions. Super chat if you want your question answered right away. As I kind of go through these, man. Oh, man. And I haven't even talked about Justin Fields. But the fact of the matter is, at this point, we could even have Patrick Mahomes on the roster, and it probably wouldn't matter. All right, let's get through some questions here, people. Ask away whatever you guys want to talk about. Super chat if you want your question answered right away. So let's go ahead and go. Yeah, I see a couple of you guys saying Matt Nagy got his revenge. Yes, he did. Matt Nagy had a very good day today, I'm sure. Super chat from Chicago Sports Talk, Michael. We won't fire Matt Eberflus. That's the sad part. You know what, Michael? You know what? I agree with you. They probably won't fire him because the Bears just don't do that. They just don't do midseason firings. But let me tell you the one good thing that may come out of not firing him. Because keeping Matt Eberflus guarantees you the number 1 overall pick. Oh, yeah. This team's not going to do anything. They're going to be right in line for the number 1 overall pick with Matt Eberflus. So if you want the number 1 overall pick, which at this point doesn't seem so bad, you keep him. But if you are Ryan Poles, and this is why I'm saying, if you are Ryan Poles, your job is kind of on the line here, because if you let this team be bad enough for another number 1 overall pick, that's a problem. 2 off seasons, you couldn't be competitive enough. 2 off seasons. Briggs Cosby, George McCaskey needs to do something. Yes, he does. Something other than going into Poles and Eberflus's office and just having a talk with them. At what point is enough going to be enough? What point? All right. Right, Cal, who should be the Bears' new head coach? I don't know at this point, but it shouldn't be Matt Eberflus. I'm sorry, Cal. Right, Cal. I can't answer that right now because I'm not even in that state of mind right now. Same thing to you, Kendall Rivera. As far as who I want as the next head coach, I wanted Mike McDaniel. He was in that same cycle when we hired Matt Eberflus. I wanted Brian Daboll. He was in that same cycle when we hired Matt Eberflus. But right now, I just want Matt Eberflus fired. And then I'll tell you who I want as the new head coach. Cedric Wilson, all the coaches are bad. What move could Poles possibly make? Firing the coaches. Look, here is why making a move at this point is imperative. Because you need to let The locker room, no. You need to let the players know this is unacceptable. And this is unacceptable. The punishment for this is jobs are gone. Because if you let this slide, then you are basically admitting, oh, yeah, this is fine. This type of effort, this type of performance, it's okay. You'll still have your job. No, that is not the culture you want to set here. That's not the culture you want to set. That's why a move needs to be made. Michael Coward, Ryan Pohl's not the problem. Coaching and what they're teaching is the problem. Ryan Pohl's hired Matt Eberflus. I think sometimes people forget. I don't hate Ryan Poles. I don't even hate Matt Eberflus. They both seem like really nice guys. I'm just judging them off their performance. Ryan Poles had a chance to hire Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll, and he hired Matt Eberflus. That's on him. That's on his resume. He needs to get punished for that as well. Probably won't, but he should. Again, Super Chat, if you want your question answered right away here, let's go through these. Matt Nagy is going to sleep great tonight. Yes, he is, Optimus Prince. Prashant Chandra, why is Bears so focused on the defense every time when you have a chance to improve offense with Fields as QB? Because that's just the Bears way. The tradition of the Chicago Bears is defense, running the football, hard-nosed, tough-minded, right? And we've never had a 4,000-yard passer because of it. Ryan Poles spent a bunch of money, a bunch of draft picks overhauling the defense. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Yannick Ngakoue. Spent a lot of money, a lot of draft picks overhauling the defense, and it's the worst in football. It's the worst in football. Magu 2UXXX. If we get the number 1 overall pick and get a quarterback, what's to stop that quarterback from pulling an Eli Manning and refuse to play with the team? I agree with you. They probably should do that. You probably don't want to come play for this dumpster fire of an organization where quarterbacks go to die. So there's nothing stopping them. If Caleb Williams sees that the Bears have the number 1 overall pick next year, he probably won't want to come out, and I wouldn't blame him one bit. Chicago Sports Talk, Michael, with another super chat. Appreciate you. They fool me once with Mitch. They fool me twice with Justin. They're not going to fool me with whoever they draft next until I see with my own eyes. They fool everybody. Here's the thing, right? All right. Let's just real quickly talk about Justin Fields here. All right. Justin Fields looks absolutely broken, right? The man looks discombobulated. He might have even gotten concussed today, but that's another story for another day. But he just looks out of it. He has no confidence, no rhythm, nothing. Okay? And to me, I can point the finger and blame Justin Fields for sure. He needs to play better, this and that, yada, yada. But my thing is, I have no faith in just this team, this coaching staff being able to just develop anybody, any quarterback at this point. Like literally. There's a point in the game where you're down 40 points and Luke Getsy is calling runs on 2nd and 7 with 8 in the box where they were expecting you to run. I'm telling you, do you guys have faith if we drafted Patrick Mahomes that he would have became Patrick Mahomes of the Bears? I don't. And I don't think I'm crazy to think that. And neither are you. That's an organizational thing. Justin Fields is just as fault as all the other quarterbacks that we've gone with. But it's everything put together. The McCaskies can't hire the right GM. The right GM can't hire the right coach. The right coach can't hire the right the right offensive coordinator. And the offensive coordinator can't develop the right quarterback. It's just a cycle that repeats over and over and over and over again. Go sports fan. It's just week 3. Relax. Host Broncos at Commanders. Host Vikings. 3-3 is realistic after week 6. Look, Joe. The problem isn't losing. I told you. 0-3, not the worst thing in the world. It's about being competitive. And they aren't competitive. That's the thing. They gave up 38 points to the Packers, who struggled to move the ball today. Jordan Love looked like an absolute all-pro against us. We made Baker Mayfield look like an all-pro. He threw for 300-plus passing yards. Our offense has been very, very terrible throughout all the games. We're just not competitive. That's the problem. Twin Quiz, do you think there's any chance that the Bears are willing to tank this year to force Justin Fields to become a better pocket passer? I don't even know. Look, folks, I don't even know if Ryan Poles is going to be able to tank this year. If we're tanking, it's not by choice. It's just because we're not good. It's just because we're not good. At this point, I mean, with Justin Fields, I've kind of lost faith pretty much because you don't have the right infrastructure in place. He's lost his confidence. He's not playing well either. Ghost of Judah Tribe, stop babysitting JF Bears fans. He ain't it. No one's babysitting him. At least I'm not. I'm here to tell you all his faults. Justin Fields played like absolute garbage. Can't even throw for 100 yards in a modern-day NFL game in 2023. Can't even throw for 100 yards, and you had garbage time to do so. I'm not babysitting Justin Fields. He was terrible. But I'm here to just tell you, do you trust the Bears to develop any quarterback? Any quarterback, I ask you. They already broke Justin Fields. Like, unless he somehow just pulls the confidence out of himself and is able to rebound somehow, they've already kind of broken him. The only question is, who's the next quarterback they're going to break? Caleb Williams? Who is it? Andre Bryan, notice no screens were called and Justin threw for less than 100 yards. Yes, but that was also because there were so many runs called. Look, Justin Fields probably left, or maybe not left, I should say. There was like probably 60 to 80 yards out there that could have been tacked onto his total because DJ Moore just dropped a real perfect pass right in the breadbasket down the right sideline. Chase Claypool, I thought, had a little bit of a drop as well on a deep shot. Make no mistake about it, Justin Fields played terrible. He played terrible, and he's been playing terrible. But I'm just saying there were plays to be made there. Justin Fields' biggest problem, I've been saying it the entire season. He holds on to the football too long. He does not get the ball out quick. And in the NFL, when you don't have a good offensive line, you need to get the ball out quick. And he waits until someone's wide open, and only then will he usually throw. And it's just not there. Jimmy Getsy is designing open targets in every game for Fields, just that Fields not able to see him. I agree. Justin Fields is at fault here too. Absolutely at fault here. The entire thing is a mess, folks. The Bears don't do anything well. They don't do anything well. The thing is, you can't fire a quarterback, but you can fire a coach. Same thing happens in the NBA, right? Coaches get the boot first. And you got 14 more games with Justin Fields to see what you can make out of him. If he's a bust, you got 14 more games to figure that out. But I don't want Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy being the people to figure that out, because we know they can't do it. I already know that. Twinquist with the super chat, appreciate you. Mahomes would have been Trubisky in this organization. Now that is funny. He would have literally been Mitch Trubisky in this organization. Folks, imagine Patrick Mahomes with the Bears, and he's not surrounded with Andy Reid. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill early on in his career, Travis Kelce, just the creativity on offense. Like, you might be onto something. Trade Talk Sports Chicago. Faiz, instead of drafting a quarterback, do you think we should maybe trade for a top QB? I don't know how you do it, but maybe you do. It's always possible, right? We traded for Jay Cutler. But the thing is, if you are a good quarterback, if you have a good quarterback as a team, you usually don't trade them. And the last two quarterbacks who got traded, yeah, that was a disaster. Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. Both of them looked like a shell of their former selves. Sir Dobbs, no free agents or draft picks will want to play here. Only answer is to knew we could get a whole new coaching staff in QB. I agree. Marky Mark, our general, you ever notice that the Bears' last two QBs never see down in the middle of the field? Their only plays come from the sideline throw. Yeah, middle of the field is one of Justin Fields' weakness. It really is. It's just so hard, guys, for me to come to the conclusion that, yeah, Justin Fields, it's probably a wrap because of how bad he's looked. Because, like, I'm just trying to think, like, the Eagles with Justin Fields, other organizations with Justin Fields, the 49ers, heck, maybe even the Chiefs if they didn't have Mahomes. But my point is, like, you just pick him up and you drop him in those different teams. I don't know why. I just have a feeling these coaches would be able to get more out of him than we did. I just have that feeling. I could be totally wrong, but I just feel that. Look, we know Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world, but how many elite guys are there? Every guy has their flaws, right? Like from a pure talent perspective, like Hurts and Lamar, just from a pure talent perspective, Hurts and Lamar, I feel like Fields has similar gifts and traits to them. Now, again, talent isn't everything. It isn't everything. But I'm just saying, it's a feeling that I have, a gut feeling that I have. But you know what? Justin Fields, I'm not going to defend him because he's played like absolute garbage. He holds on to the football way too long. The worst part about all this, by the way, Super Chat, if you want a question answered right away, the worst part about all this is that we can't fire ownership. So the McCaskies will just continue to pick GM after GM after GM. Maybe Kevin Warren can do something. At this point, I don't expect anything from Chicago Bears. Our destroyer Justin Fields does bad next week with the Broncos defense. It's a wrap, in my opinion. You would think, right? Look, Broncos just gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. The Dolphins' offense is a juggernaut, and Mike McDaniel is one of the best head coaches in football. Here's the thing with Justin Fields, and I'll leave it at this. He has 14 games, right, to basically decide his career. Because if the Bears have the number one overall pick, Justin Fields' career in Chicago is over. They will draft another quarterback. And so it is so important for Justin Fields to not only play well, but also to win football games because he needs to make sure the Bears don't get the number one overall pick and don't take a quarterback. So, 14 more games to do so. Will he do it? We'll see. But that's where we are. All right, a couple more questions here, guys, and then we'll call it a day because there's a million better things to do right now than talk about this team. All right, Super Chat as always to answer your questions. Phoenix Dark Prince, Bears are an embarrassment to not only the NFL but to the sport. Absolutely. I told you this. There are bad teams in football. There are bad teams in the NFL. But the Bears are the worst because we don't even compete. I told you just today, the Cardinals, folks, with Josh Dobbs. Nobody in the NFL, not a single GM, not a single head coach. Super chat, by the way, thank you to Jude22. Go ahead and ask me a question. Not a single coach, not a single GM would pick Josh Dobbs over Justin Fields as a quarterback. And Josh Dobbs, with the Cardinals coaching staff, with their team, was able to go ahead and get a win. Keyword win, not even just being competitive, straight up win against the Cowboys, who are considered a Super Bowl contender, and rightfully so. So don't tell me it ain't possible, because it is. And they probably should have won against the Giants last week. They were up by a lot. So bad teams in this league can still compete and win games and make progress. The Texans just did it today with C.J. Stroud, and now we can't even use the whole Ohio State excuse with Justin Fields. Oh, no, Ohio State quarterbacks are good. C.J. Stroud looks pretty good to me. So it's just nauseating at this point because we can't get a single thing right. Not the offense, not the defense, not coaching, nothing. Nothing. It was just so pathetic. You know, I always wonder, like, does this bother the coaches and like the players and like the GM? Like, does it bother them, the owners, as much as it bothers the fans? Like, I feel like sometimes I can't sleep thinking of how bad this team is. But Luke Getsy's probably like having a good ass sleep. Matt Eberflus just knocked out. Sleeping well at night. On their wad of cash. They don't care like us. They don't care like us. Old blue eyes. Will they ever sell the team? Honestly, I doubt it. Virginia McCaskey, once she passes away, maybe the younger generation of the McCaskeys don't want to own the Bears, but it's a cash cow for them, and they don't really have many other businesses, so I don't think they will ever sell the team, unfortunately. Kev Cook, it's all about making money. That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Luke Getsy, Eberflus, these guys, they'll tell the media, they'll say, hey, we're making progress. We're doing this and that, and then go home to their mansions. Go home, get a good night's rest, because who cares? We're getting paid out the wazoo, and we don't need to worry about winning football games because the fans will still support us no matter what. That's why I'm not giving a penny to this football team anymore. Not doing it. Not doing it. JDude22, you think we keep DJ Moore in this new regime? We should. DJ Moore is an absolute stud, and nothing anyone can tell me is going to change my opinion on that, man. I know he dropped the ball today, but DJ Moore is an absolute stud, and we, again, are failing him just like we're failing a lot of other things in this organization. Point blank period. Point blank period. Chicago Sports Thought Michael, Ryan Poles, if he has any integrity of developing Justin Fields, he needs to fire Matt Eberflus tomorrow, but we're going to hear the same thing. We're not panicking. Absolutely. We're going to hear the same exact thing. We're not panicking. But changes need to be made, and you know what? If Ryan Poles does not fire Matt Eberflus, then his job is going to be on the line. Because Matt Eberflus is 3-17. And with him, we are going to lose a lot more football games. So if that's what Ryan Poles wants, that's what Ryan Poles is going to get. That's what he's going to get. I know the Bears haven't fired anyone midseason. I know that. But the Bears also have not maybe looked this bad ever in their franchise. That's how pathetic it is at this point. I appreciate you guys, man, just hanging in there with me. Look, we're not letting up. We are not backing down. We are going to let this team know that changes need to be made and rip them a new one. This is unacceptable, and we're not backing down from it. I'm coming. I'm still going to come. All right. Appreciate you guys once again, man. I'm going to get out of here, but I'll definitely have more videos up and live stream more this week. Appreciate you guys. As always, thanks for watching.